Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m.
Okay.
We know that Catherine Edow's body was discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead. As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighbourhood makes me ill at ease.
Synagogue, Imperial Club, St. James Passage, Mitre Square. Okay. Okay, let's get some light in here.
Take the lantern, Watson.
Okay. So...
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. Watson, we are now in the exact spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
This spot is very dark, Holmes.
That is probably why our murderer chose it.
Okay. Let's see.
Do these objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson?
Okay.
A thimble is located right beside one of the victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastils.
Distraction tactic, perhaps.
The head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front.
Oof. I don't think that's...
There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side. The nose was cut. The eyelids were cut off. There is but one wound. The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner. The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner.
Okay.
The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer. Part of this apron is missing. We will follow up on that shortly.
Okay.
The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass. A kidney was removed. The uterus was removed. These intestines were pulled out altogether to grant access to the abdomen.
My goodness, Holmes, it was a slaughter.
Exactly.
Understand, Watson, that our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up, and all the while in total darkness.
Holmes, it's a woman, a poor victim you're talking about.
Consider
Watson.
all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks, which I considered gratuitous, are in fact nothing of the sort and have as much sense as the removal of the organs. We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Okay. So it's dark enough.
Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go to the end of this lane, Watson.
Thank you, Watson. Where does this lead to? Oh.
Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Yes, that's me. But I know you. You brought a lad to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
Oh,
That's
hello
me.
there.
May I present?
Dr. Watson, of course. Delighted. And you? I have known for a few days that you are a detective, by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is that so?
You don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away. Am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by offering them a small comb and half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them. However, I must request, as a personal favor, that you do not reveal my identity.
You have my word. Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature of the investigation that you are leading?
Yeah, this is
Does this spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable acts degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
Lots of rumours are circulating, but they are but rumours. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That night, 3 members of our club saw a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing, a few minutes before the body was found at the end of this passage. Fantastic, Holmes.
Calm yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim. Can we meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn to silence.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must tell you what I know.
Okay.
One of the 3 men, my friend Joseph, left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph.
Okay.
It was around 1:35 a.m., perhaps a bit earlier. When Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the Aldgate butcher, exited, he saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must have been about 16 feet away from the couple.
That's about right. So Joseph, the butcher, said to the other 2, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here."
Okay.
My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant.
Okay.
They had the look of 2 rather unkempt people, but no more than that.
Okay.
After the murder, did these 3 men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple. As for Joseph, the butcher, even though he was the one who commented on them and pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman, who was 5 feet tall, no more. My friend Joseph, on the other hand, did his best to cooperate with the police.
Good man. Good man. Okay.
And what did your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5 foot 7 inches, light complexion, and a fair moustache.
Oh.
He wore a loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a red scarf around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind. She had her hand on the man's stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that he remembered that she was small, was wearing a black jacket and a black bonnet. After his testimony, the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical to those of the woman he had seen. Like I already said, he only glanced at the 2, as he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
One final question. The Imperial Club is a Jewish club, isn't that correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Bah, it was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking again, and the police seem to have some difficulty in doing that.
Not good.
I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, he was very useful.
Closed. This building is the Great Synagogue of London.
Okay.
I have no reason to go that way. The Imperial Club.
Okay. Okay. So it would appear that they came from this direction. Down here. It's fairly dark in areas. And I doubt they'll be looking every night.
This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people. In this case, those of the two policemen. I have no reason to go that way.
Okay. At least we have some answers. Okay. Yes, he had some ability. A thimble on the was found on the side was in her hand. I gotta learn to speak. I'm doing commentary. Okay, the wound from the neck goes right to left slightly. It's fierce. Okay. Very orderly. Abrams Colburn. Is unfeeling and organized. I'm afraid he is a professional. Central sun goes downwards towards the groin. He is right-handed. Died the same way. One of the same. The murderer cut open the stomach with surgical manner? No. It's more like a carcass. Watson, for goodness. Honestly. Okay.
Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Okay. Conclusions. Chapman was holding Elville. No, it was a distractionary tactic. Okay, a strong man. Same man. It's all the same, tragically. Let's see, the murderer searched Chapman. Oh, hold on. No, he couldn't have been. Oh, that was right. What could he possibly have wanted? Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the timeline. So this chap, 1:42, PC Harvey.
1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground. But would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the church passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
I see you, Holmes.
You had to proceed into the square in order to see me, something Harvey didn't do. It is possible that the killer was still there. 1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives at Mitre Square but does not go in. The murderer may well have still been there.
Okay.
1:44 a.m. The body is discovered.
Okay, so 1:30.
1:30 a.m. PC Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds. If PC Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place and there was no one in Mitre Square, unless they were hidden among the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
Okay.
I see you, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Okay, so the murder hadn't taken place at 1:30.
Very good, Watson. Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30.
Okay, so 1:35.
1:35 a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of Church Passage. The man came from Aldgate. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson.
So somewhere between there.
1:35 and 1:42 a.m. The murder would appear to have taken place between these times, that is to say, within 7 minutes.
Agreed, Holmes.
Very
But does this really
professional.
prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these two murders?
Yes.
Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Yes. I'm afraid so.
There, Watson. We are now certain that the murderer really had the time to commit these two murders.
Incredible! This spot is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
I'm afraid
We
no.
certainly can't, Watson. We have one final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was missing just now? It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go. There's the spot,
Street.
Watson.
By night, Goulston Street is deathly silent, which will permit us to carry out a fair few experiments. Let's find the entrance where the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious chalk message were found.
Cohen Stores.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street.
Oh, in the quarter.
Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street.
Okay.
Look at these signs, Watson.
Okay. Where?
I have no reason to go that way.
Pardon me. Okay, so let's go behind here, sure.
I have no reason to go that way.
Okay.
There's the spot where the apron and the message were found by PC Long. Now, let's recreate the scene. Remember, Watson, it was raining
just
that
forget
night.
about Dr.
Find me
Thomas.
something with which to mimic raindrops hitting this wall while I write something with my chalk.
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
Did he?
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
Find a container and some water. Let me remind you that it's night time and the street is deserted, Holmes.
He spelled with a U.
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
Sorry, it just... You spelled with a U rather than an E. I wonder if the person was less educated, perhaps. Speculation.
I have no reason to go that way.
Aha.
That may come in handy. Who knows?
Okay. Is it? myself. Are you anything? No. What is going on? Was that meant to happen? Well, obviously it had animations attached to it. Sir. Yes.
A watering can. That's
Oh.
a watering can. That's what I need. But I can't reach it.
Okay. I honestly didn't. Sometimes I'm the most clueless man who's ever lived. You know that. I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even see the watering can up there. Did you? No? Fair enough then. Alright. We've got a watering butt. There we go.
Have you found something for us to pour?
Yes, I have, Holmes.
If this message were written by the killer, then it would have been lying in this entrance for up to 35 minutes before being discovered. Let's find out in what state it must have been.
Was it raining?
This message could not have withstood an entire night in the rain. During the investigations carried out on the night of the double murder, PC Hulse inspected the entrances of this street around 2:20 a.m. and confirmed to have seen nothing out of the ordinary. At 2:55 a.m., 35 minutes later, PC Long found Catherine Eddowes' piece of apron and the message in chalk. This message would not have withstood a whole night in the rain, as had I continued to water it for a little longer, I would certainly have erased it. It was written, therefore, at the moment when the piece of apron was dumped. This substantiates PC Hulse's statement, which stated he had seen neither of these during his rounds. After its discovery, it was guarded and protected from the rain, which was subsiding, which explains why it was still legible when it was erased at 5:30. My dear Watson, when you met P.C. Smith on his rounds in the street, where was he? On the pavement or in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road, Holmes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Good. You will go down the street with your lantern as if you were a policeman on patrol, using Smith's position as a guide. As soon as you see the entrance where I used the watering can, tell me if you see anything.
Well, my head going over the camera again. Got the lantern. Those invisible horses are ridiculous. Okay.
No, you aren't in the right...
There, Holmes. From here, I can see something written.
Can you read it?
No.
Do you see the white rag, Watson?
I see something on the ground, but I'm not sure if it's what you were talking about.
P.C. Long, who found the piece of apron, was examining the interior of the entrances, and yet nobody would have predicted that this piece of material would be discovered on the very night of the murder by a policeman on patrol.
What are you trying to get at, Holmes?
Let's look at this message on the wall, Watson. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. In other words, the Jews were possibly blamed for nothing, but that will no longer be the case. Reading this message naturally begs one question. What would that be, Watson?
Why?
Indeed, Watson, why? For what reason would one have the right to blame the Jews in the future? Remember, Liz Stride was killed near a club for socialist Jews, Eddowes not far from a synagogue and the Imperial Club, and finally, this piece of apron dropped here. This building is occupied by Jewish families. The killer really did go out of his way to incriminate the Jews living in the area.
It's a bit obvious, Holmes.
Yes, but with the rumors, Watson, the author of this message would have received a response to his strategy.
You are right, Holmes. So perhaps it's a good thing this message was erased.
Whoever took the decision to do this is a man of great wisdom and courage. Let's return to Baker Street, Watson. I have some pipes to smoke to help me think more clearly.
Okay, this is a big.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
Okay, this is pretty insane stuff. And I know I told you multiple times that I played this game I haven't played this game in years and years, so I do forget. So if I try to add to the immersion, I'd hate for you to think that I'm just above it all.